welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we take those, well, really complex stacks of source material, the plot summaries, the character arcs, all the twists and turns, and we map it all out for you, our listener.
Mm-hmm.
We're aiming to give you that shortcut, basically, to being completely up to speed without you having to wade through, months and months of plot points.
Absolutely. And today, we are really digging into the drama that's got Salem completely buzzing right now. It's the mystery around the firehouse baby, Tesoro.
Yeah.
Sometimes called Tustin in the sources too, right?
Right, Tusto. Yeah.
And this deep dive, it feels necessary because we've hit a really critical point, like a major turn based on the latest info we've got from our sources.
That's exactly it. Our mission today is pretty clear. We're charting this complete shakeup of the paternity puzzle. The sources kick off with this just stunning revelation from Dr. Kayla Brady.
Mary Beth Evans, yeah.
Mary Beth Evans, who always seems to be the one delivering the tough news in Salem, doesn't she?
She really does. And that core shock, it's like hitting the reset button on this entire storyline. After months of all this emotion, all this drama, the DNA results finally confirm it.
What everyone was whispering about.
Exactly. What some suspected, maybe some feared. Tate Black, Leo Howard's character, is officially not the biological father of little Tesoro.
Okay, wow. Let's unpack that right away. Because for months, this whole drama, it really hinged on Tate carrying this, immense weight, the supposed paternity, the trauma, the family conflict.
Yeah.
Especially with his dad, Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that this DNA test just completely clears him, it's huge. But like you said, it doesn't actually mean closure, does it?
Not at all. What does this shocking non-match really mean? It doesn't mean the family can just, breathe easy,
Right.
It confirms, pretty emphatically actually, that Tate was tangled up in this massive, sustained deception. He was the victim here.
So the mission changes.
Completely. The mission now is to trace this intense investigation that Brady and Steve are leading. Because ruling Tate out just confirmed what they already suspected. Someone else, and let's be clear that Sophia Choi has been lying the whole time.
And doing it with some serious malice, it seems.
Calculated malice, yeah. It wasn't just an accident.
So the DNA dead end, it's exactly that, right?
Yeah.
An end for Tate's paternity nightmare, but really the starting gun for uncovering the real mystery here.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Kayla delivers the news. Tate's DNA, not a match. Now, logically, you'd think this is the moment Brady, Black Eric Martsolf can finally exhale, finally relax.
I think so.
But the sources tell us the complete opposite happens. Brady isn't just not relieved, he's actually more suspicious than ever. He doubles down on digging into this.
And that's what's so fascinating, isn't it? The lack of a match doesn't bring relief for Brady. Instead, it triggers this, deeper distrust. He looks at the whole Sophia Choi baby adoption process and just thinks it's dodgy.
Dodgy, that's the word the sources use.
Yeah, and that word really speaks volumes, doesn't it? It suggests either incredible sloppiness or, maybe more likely, intentional misdirection at every single step.
And we should probably lay out why it looks so dodgy to him, right? Just thinking about the timeline the sources give us.
Yeah, let's do that.
You've got Sophia, a high school kid, suddenly pregnant, then this incredibly rushed timeline for the adoption. And almost immediately, she's giving conflicting information about the baby itself.
Right. Brady's trust level for Sophia was already, let's face it, probably at 0 before the DNA results.
Definitely.
And remember, she was already caught in that huge lie early on about the baby's gender. That's pretty fundamental.
It really is.
So if she's capable of lying about whether the baby is a boy or a girl, Brady, and frankly anyone watching, has to think, okay, she's probably lying about a lot more.
That initial lie wasn't just a slip-up.
No way.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of an adoption. It established this pattern of deception that convinced Brady this wasn't some simple mistake. It felt like a calculated plot from the get-go.
So Brady's gut feeling, it's based on this proven pattern of her lying. He just flat out does not trust Sophia. And his focus shifts, doesn't it? It's less about managing Tate's potential fatherhood.
Right.
And more about proving Sophia committed this massive fraud. And protecting Tate from whatever she might try next. He's not stopping until he knows what really happened with the baby he thought might be his grandkid.
And we really have to pause and think about the impact on Tate Black himself. Poor kid. He's been struggling so much, right? Carrying all this guilt, this responsibility for a child that wasn't even his.
All that anguish.
He just wanted closure.
Yeah.
But because of this whole sketchy plot, as the sources call it, engineered by Sophia and that adoption broker, Melinda Traz.
Melinda Traz, yeah. She's got connections to some shady characters in Salem we should probably note.
Definitely. Because of them, Tate never even got to meet the baby. Never met the supposed adoptive parents. He was completely shut out.
So the DNA results, they confirm that months of his suffering, the fights with his family, the guilt he felt, it was all built on a lie about paternity, a complete fabrication.
Which must be a relief on one hand.
But it's got a sting too, right? Knowing how deeply Sophia manipulated him.
Absolutely. And that realization, that emotional pressure cooker, it leads straight to action. Brady doesn't waste any time. He immediately goes to his go-to guy, his investigative partner, family friend, Steve Johnson.
Patch? Stephen Nichols.
Yeah, Patch himself. Brady asks Steve for help, specifically to find out what exactly went down during Sophia's adoption process.
And there it is. The investigative dream team is back together. Brady and Steve. And their mission totally shifts. It's not about protecting Tate from fatherhood anymore. It's about aggressively uncovering Sophia's whole scheme. That initial suspicion they both shared.
That Sophia's baby and this firehouse baby, Tesoro, could be the same kid.
Exactly. That suspicion is now way stronger. And it forces them down a new path, proving the maternal intent.
Which leads us straight to the person behind all this chaos. You know, in any good long-running soap opera, it's the villain's complexity, their motives, that really keep the story going. And according to our sources, Sophia Choi has definitely cemented her place in that role.
Yeah, the descriptions are pretty harsh.
They are. She's called a Jan Spears wannabe and just fundamentally twisted. And this isn't just like typical high school mean girl stuff. The sources suggest a level of deliberate, calculated malice that puts her right up there with some of Salem's most notorious villains.
Okay, let's break down the Jan Spears wannabe comparison for anyone listening who might not remember Jan. Jan Spears was all about obsessive fixation, right?
Yeah.
Usually on Sean Brady.
Exactly. Always using manipulation, faked pregnancies, psychological games, anything to force a relationship. And when you look at Sophia's actions, her trajectory, it really mirrors that pattern.
Her single-minded focus has always been Tate Black.
Always. She wants to be his girlfriend, period. And the lengths she's gone to, the unscrupulous things she's done, it shows this really disturbing progression, almost like escalating criminal intent.
Yeah, we should definitely map that out step by step so people understand why the sources are using such strong language. It didn't just start with lying about the baby.
No, it started smaller, but still with intent to harm.
Like tattling on Holly Jonas and Tate at the junior prom? Okay, that's pretty standard high school spite, maybe.
Annoying but minor in the grand scheme of Salem, yeah. But then it escalates. She takes that job at the Brady pub specifically to get closer to Tate, to insert herself into his world, his daily life.
That feels obsessive, controlling. Those were the early warning signs, maybe.
I think so, signs of a deep fixation. But then the malice really ramps up when she targets Holly, Tate's actual love interest.
Right, this is where it gets really dark.
The sources detail this clear progression towards actual criminal behavior, spiking Holly's Diet Coke when Holly was already tipsy to make her blackout drunk. Think about that. Ensuring maximum vulnerability, maximum memory loss.
That's not just revenge. That's strategic incapacitation of a rival.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then the truly devastating move. Taking those incriminating naughty pictures of Holly, her supposed best friend, while Holly was passed out.
And sending them to Johnny DeMera's phone.
Yes. Johnny, who's sometimes Tate's rival for Holly's attention, that maximizes the damage, the humiliation when it gets out. Her intent was crystal clear. Destroy any chance Holly had of getting back with Tate. Box him in so Sophia was his only option.
Wow. Okay. And this nasty streak, it didn't just stop at ruining relationships, right? It carried right over into the adoption mess.
Directly. The sources say she actively wanted to stop Johnny DeMera and Chanel Dupree from adopting her son, Tasto, as punishment.
Punishment for what?
Maybe for Johnny messing up some adoption paperwork earlier. The motive seems a bit murky, but the goal was clear. She wanted to break them up, too. It's like this chain reaction of revenge. She weaponizes people's emotions, uses leverage against everyone.
Which brings us to the core of it all. The pregnancy, the pivot, the ultimate lie. The sources suggest Sophia might have been lying to Tate about being the father for months, which raises the huge question. When did she decide to use the baby as her ultimate trump card, regardless of who the actual father was?
The sources paint this possible timeline where, okay, her mom refuses to let her terminate the pregnancy, What does Sophia do? She doesn't just accept it and move on. She shifts gears, according to the sources, into full manipulation mode.
She saw the baby as a tool.
Exactly. She realized the baby, no matter who the father was her ultimate pawn, her way to force a connection with Tate Black, maybe even secure a foothold in the powerful Black family.
So she weaponized the pregnancy itself.
It seems like it. Even that early plan to terminate, maybe in her twisted little brain, as the sources put it, she saw that as a way to bond with Tate, like a shared secret. And when that plan failed, she used the baby's actual existence and the lie about the paternity as her last desperate play. So this whole Firehouse Baby saga, maybe it was never really about the adoption itself.
It was about Sophia's relentless, obsessive campaign to get Tate.
Using whatever means necessary, including her own child and Tate's family.
Okay, so Tate is definitively 100% not the father. The spotlight has to swing somewhere else, right? And logically, it swings right onto the new prime suspect, Aaron Green.
It really does. The sources are pretty direct, saying Team Aaron Green fans could be right. And honestly, when you look at the clues, the timing, this theory just makes a lot of sense. It seems overwhelmingly likely at this point.
And this isn't just pulling a name out of a hat. The sources point to a very specific night, a specific scenario for conception.
They highlight that it likely happened the exact same day Tate had that awful moment calling out Holly Jonas's name while he was with Sophia.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's potent timing.
Isn't it? A moment of peak emotional vulnerability rejection for Sophia, which makes what happened next feel, well, dramatically very plausible.
So let's paint that picture for everyone listening. Tate screws up massively, humiliates Sophia. She probably runs off, totally wounded, angry.
Yeah, you can imagine. The sources then place her stress-eating comfort food in Horton Town Square, just trying to pull herself together after that rejection.
And that's when Aaron Green walks in.
That's when Aaron enters the scene. And the sources remind us Aaron has had this pretty significant, unrequited crush on Sophia for quite a while.
Okay, so Aaron sees his chance. He's probably had this crush for ages. He joins her, shares her snacks. The mood shifts maybe from humiliation to comfort.
It seems like it. Aaron sees an opening to finally connect with the girl he likes, and Sophia. Maybe she sees an immediate source of validation, maybe even a little bit of revenge against Tate. Someone available, right then and there.
And it was Sophia who pushed it forward, right?
According to the sources, yes. Sophia suggested they go hang out, binge watch Body and Soul. So it paints this picture of Sophia actively seeking comfort, attention, maybe distraction, right after Tate hurt her.
And Aaron, with his crush, was the perfect candidate. An easy rebound, a way for her to feel back in control, maybe.
Could be. And crucially, the timeline of that specific night, it lines up perfectly with the baby's likely gestational age.
So, the big implication here is, there's a very high chance Sophia has known all along. Known it was Aaron's baby, not Tate's.
That's the huge leap the sources are suggesting. And it forces the question, why lie and pin it on Tate?
Because Tate was always the goal. Aaron was incidental, a means to an end that night.
That seems to be the theory. And it connects directly back to why she might have pushed so hard for the adoption, creating all that chaos.
Right. Explain that connection.
Well, the sources suggest she might have wanted the adoption precisely because she knew it wasn't Tate's baby. Getting the baby adopted quickly, maybe out of town, was a way to avoid getting caught in that massive lie down the road.
Before the baby got older, maybe started to look like Aaron.
Exactly. Before the paternity became obviously questionable, the adoption was maybe a preemptive strike to hide the truth, while still using the idea of the hippie, the drama of it, to manipulate the Black family.
If the baby had been successfully adopted by strangers and vanished from Salem,
the real father might never have come under this kind of scrutiny. Sophia's false story could have held up, at least for a while.
Wow, okay. So that makes the stakes for Brady and Steve's current investigation incredibly high. They're not just looking for a father anymore.
No, they're trying to prove the full scope of Sophia's deception, her manipulation. And that hinges entirely on confirming she is the mother, and then using that fact to lock down the timeline, pointing straight back to that night with Aaron.
So the investigation hits this critical point, this conundrum, as the sources call it, that Steve and Brady are facing. They know Tate isn't the father. Great. But that's only half of it, isn't it?
Right. Knowing Tate's off the hook is huge for him, but to really close this chapter, Brady needs irrefutable proof about the baby's origins.
Which means they need to test the baby, Tesoro, against Sophia's DNA.
Exactly. They need to see if Tesoro matches Sophia.
And why is that test specifically so important now?
Because confirming Tesoro is Sophia's biological son is the final piece of the puzzle. It lets the Black family say, definitively, okay, Tate has no biological child out there from Sophia.
It proves the entire pregnancy story, as it related to Tate, was a lie.
Precisely. It ensures Tate is totally off the hook, as the sources say. It's about giving him that peace of mind he desperately needs after being manipulated for months.
And we should give a quick shout out here to Detective Ray Fernandez, right? He's fostering the baby with Gabi and the whole crew.
Yeah, Rafe's been helpful. He already assisted Brady and Steve by discreetly getting that cheek swab from the baby for the first DNA test, the one that ruled Tate out.
So they have the baby sample ready to go. It's secured.
Safe and ready for comparison. But that's where the difficulty comes in now, getting Sophia's DNA.
Right, because they can't just ask her for it.
No way. Brady and Steve figured out early on that Sophia's baby and Tesoro could be one and the same. That's why they got the baby sample first. But now that the Tate angle is a dead end, the focus has to shift entirely to proving Sophia is the mother. That's what locks the whole deception story into place.
But getting her DNA legally,
Yeah.
that's tough. If they tried to get a warrant through official channels.
Oh, it would blow the whole thing wide open. Sophia would know they're onto her. She could disappear, destroy evidence. They need to be stealthy.
Keep it quiet.
Exactly. Which is why the sources predict that Brady and Steve, the investigators they are, will likely bypass the legal hurdles. They'll push past the difficulty by using, well, classic Salem PI methods.
Soap opera tactics.
You got it. Tried and true methods that always seem to work in Salem.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Like classic spy stuff?
Pretty much. The sources suggest things we've definitely seen before. Maybe Steve, Patch, the master spy, manages to snag a single hair from Sophia's head during some public argument.
Oh, I can see that. Like a dramatic confrontation in the square, and he just casually bumps into her.
Or maybe even more classic soap, Brady uses his access somehow. Maybe the dorms, maybe the pub, and steals her toothbrush.
The toothbrush. A staple. Imagine the tension of sneaking into a dorm bathroom for that.
High-stakes theft of something so mundane. Or maybe simpler, just finding a glass she was drinking from at the pub, carefully bagging it up like evidence.
So the message is clear. Formal methods might be blocked, but Brady and Steve are resourceful. They'll go old school if they have to.
Absolutely. The truth has to come out, mainly to protect Tate now and just confirm how massive Sophia's fraud really was. The second they get that DNA match, confirming Tesoro is Sophia's son.
Boom. The whole puzzle clicks. Sophia lied about the father, she engineered the adoption chaos, and she probably knew it was Aaron's baby the entire time.
That's the working theory, and getting her DNA is the key to proving it.
The writers in Salem, they are just masters of setting up these really ironic, tense situations. And here's a perfect example. Aaron Green isn't just back in town.
No, it gets better.
He is now Tate Black's roommate in the dorms at Salem University.
Can you believe it? The guy who's likely the actual father is now living side by side, probably sharing pizza, with the guy who was lied to about it for months.
That is just peak soap opera drama waiting to explode. And it makes you immediately think back to Aaron's behavior before he left town, right?
Oh, yeah. We have to remember that. Before he took off for Canada, supposedly to be with his jailbird mom,
Right.
Aaron was acting decidedly kind of weird around Tate. The sources specifically point out that he told Tate he had something important, something significant he needed to tell him.
But they got interrupted.
They got interrupted, and Aaron left town without ever revealing what that big secret was.
That loose end, that unfinished conversation. It's like a ticking time bomb the writers planted.
Absolutely. And as we always say when we do these deep dives, especially for a She Like Days with its huge cast, characters don't just pop back into Salem for no reason.
Especially with budgets being what they are.
Exactly. The sources even mention the show probably doesn't have the budget for spare people. Aaron is back for a very specific reason. And that reason is practically screaming. Paternity scandal reveal. Confrontation. Confession.
So this brings up all these critical questions about Aaron himself. What did he know, and when did he know it?
Did he suspect he might be the father? Or did he actually know?
And if he knew, or even suspected, what did Sophia tell him? Did she lie to him too? Maybe assure him, oh no, it's definitely Kate's, don't worry, it's all handled.
That's possible. Or maybe she pressured him, told him to keep quiet about their one-night stand, maybe downplayed it, said it was over and done with, only for Aaron to later hear the rumors about baby Tesoro floating around Salem and put two and two together.
It makes you wonder if his trip to Canada wasn't just about his mom. Maybe fleeing the country felt like the only way to deal with the fear of this huge secret coming out.
It's highly plausible, especially if you realize the baby could be his and connected to the Black family. The potential fallout would be massive. Running away might have seemed like the easiest option at the time.
So his return now isn't just convenient plotting.
Mm.
It feels narratively necessary for the truth to finally surface.
Absolutely. And we should also quickly touch on his family connections back in Salem because the raiders seem to be setting up a whole network for him now.
Right. It's not just him alone. His sisters are there. Kate Roberts, who's, Kate Roberts.
A major Salem power player forever.
And Felicity Green. Their mom is apparently in a nearby facility now, making visits easier. And their brother, Mark Green, might be getting parole soon, though maybe his return isn't confirmed yet.
Right. But the point is, the stage is being set for a more established Green family presence, which always adds more layers, more potential conflicts and alliances when a big secret like this blows up.
Okay, so there's definitely more to Aaron's story. His living situation with Tate basically guarantees some kind of explosive reveal. How do the sources think this might actually happen?
Well, they lay out a couple of likely scenarios for the truth to finally crawl out into the light.
The most traumatic option, probably.
Aaron finally cracks and confesses directly to Tate. Imagine that scene. They're in the dorm room, maybe studying, maybe just hanging out. And Aaron, crushed by guilt, maybe feeling the pressure from Brady and Steve's investigation closing in, just drops the bomb on his roommate.
Wow, that confrontation would be intense.
Right.
Instant fireworks.
Definitely. Or perhaps a slightly less direct route. Aaron could confide in someone else first. Maybe open up to Ariana Horton, who seems to be a trusted friend. Tell her about the one-night stand with Sophia.
Confessing to a friend or family member first. That's a classic Salem move too, right? It lets the information start circulating without the immediate face-to-face blow-up. Softens the landing, maybe?
Sometimes. Or sometimes it just spreads the gossip faster. But it's a common way for secrets to start unraveling. He tells Ariana, she tells someone else.
Regardless of how it happens, you've got Brady and Steve zeroing in on Sophia's DNA, and you've got Aaron literally living next door to Tate. It feels inevitable. This secret cannot stay buried much longer.
The pressure cooker is definitely about to blow. And both Tate and Aaron are going to have to deal with the fallout from Sophia's lies. #tag outro. So, as we pull all these threads together from our deep dive today, the path forward for Brady and Steve seems incredibly clear, doesn't it? It's laser focused.
Get that DNA.
Get the DNA, confirm Tesoro is Sophia's son. But even after they do that, Steve, being Steve, might suggest running just one last, absolutely definitive test before they completely close the book on the Tesoro investigation.
Why? What would be the point then?
It's not just about proving the lie anymore. It's about achieving total bulletproof closure, especially for Tate. The goal would be 100% confidence, legally and biologically, that this child has zero ties to the Black family or even definitively linking him to Sophia before that baby gets officially adopted.
Ah, okay. So before it becomes legally impossible to do any more testing.
Exactly. They want to make sure that paper trail is absolutely clean, protecting Tate from any possible future claim or manipulation Sophia might attempt down the line. Make sure he's truly free and clear.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's summarize the big takeaways for you, our listener, after digging through all this. First, Tate Black. Definitively, completely out as the father. Months of anguish for him based on a lie are over, at least on that front.
Second, Sophia Choi is now square in the crosshairs. She's the focus of the investigation, both from the family trying to protect Tate and potentially, facing actual legal consequences for fraud. She orchestrated this whole thing.
And third, Aaron Green, who just happens to be Tate's new, unsuspecting roommate, is the #1 suspect for paternity. Based on the timeline, his past behavior, his return, all signs point to him.
And Brady and Steve, they are not letting this go. As the sources put it, there are simply just too many holes in Sophia's story. The Black family's drive to uncover the entire truth about this firehouse baby is stronger than ever, fueled now by this fierce need to protect Tate.
The truth always comes out in Salem, right? It's practically a town ordinance.
It always does, eventually. So the final question we want to leave you with as you process this huge shift in the story is this.
When the truth about Tesoro's paternity finally explodes, and it seems like it absolutely will, when Aaron is revealed as the actual father, likely right under Tate's nose, will that finally bring real, lasting closure for Tate Black? Will it allow him to truly move on?
Or is it just going to ignite a whole new, even messier drama? A drama involving the returned Aaron, the cornered and manipulative Sophia, and poor Tate caught right in the middle of it all, maybe even in the same dorm room. What happens next?